Matrix. You
I haven't even seen that one.
haven't seen the first one? The
No, I
first.
saw the first one.
This other one's more like a little teaser.
I haven't
Or
seen. Did you watch the new dude, dude,
what?
Spider-Man?
Do we just jump into it? Yes. I know I have, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. What is it that they showed in this one? They showed him.
Dude.
Oh, they show pretty much. Okay, we need a. I forgot. I completely forgot to check. 16.
16, buddy. I had already checked.
Look at you. Um, I'm sure we'll have to get into it real quick. We'll probably edit it to cut out the. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But so the Spider-Man trailer, this last one that came out, it was kind of bugging me that people were so obsessed with the lizard getting punched or something. I
Yeah,
think it was. I think it was bad editing. I
yeah.
think he's being hit by the storm or something, and they edited it incorrectly.
Edited it.
Edited it because the only other thing is he does get hit by one of the other Spider-Men,
Mm-hmm.
and they edited the Spider-Man out, which is pretty
Yeah.
much what they're saying. I don't think so. I really think that they're banking on people obsessed with this triple Spider-Man storyline,
Mm-hmm.
that they're just going to run with it. They're just going to let people think it and just deal with the reactions afterwards. I really don't think they're going to do it.
No,
I don't think so.
I think that let me go back to the previous thing.
Mhm.
I think that they released that certain trailer. It was from Brazil, right? It was a Brazil release or something like that. So I think that they did make the mistake and they did edit it wrong. Edited it wrong. I honestly, because if it wouldn't be any other way unless it's somebody else that's not Spider-Man that did it. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying it is edited incorrectly so that it's the storm that hit Lizard and not a
No,
Spider-Man?
I'm saying that it is a Spider-Man that hit
It is a
Lizard.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. And then
I
did you
the reason
follow?
that the reason that I say that I don't think so is because if they're trying to not give away that spoiler, they could have just left that chunk out altogether. Why
Well, they
leave it in
did.
there?
They did everywhere except in Brazil.
Oh,
So
is that what that
that
was?
was only released in Brazil. Yeah.
No, that still seems too hokey. Like
Yeah.
you're making it a point, that the people are going to get their hands on it. You either just leave it out completely or you leave it in there to create this kind of hype.
The buzz.
Yeah.
So maybe.
I don't know, dude. At this point, people want it so bad, and I'm so much of a contrarian that I don't want the three Spider-Men.
I don't know. I have a feeling that it's gonna be this huge storyline, and then at the very end, they're gonna like boom, here you go. Because I mean, they're confirmed there's gonna be two more, right? It's gonna be a total of three, a trilogy.
This is the end of the first trilogy. They've already confirmed another one.
Oh
They're
yeah,
doing
another
another
three movies.
trilogy with
Yes.
Tom Holland. Yeah.
So
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. It'll be pretty cool if they do, because it makes sense, because you have Doc Ock, you have the Green Goblin, you have Sandman, you have the Shocker, the Lizard,
oh yeah.
right? We downloaded the wrong one. Damn it.
Oops.
You have 5 out of the supposed Sinister Six.
Yeah.
It'll be a good way to include Venom so that he is the sixth. There's just a bunch of different things they can do. I think it'll be a one and done, because that's another thing. If they do bring in the other two Spider-Man, people are going to want more of that. And I think they need to just do one and done. That's way too much story
In one.
I mean, can you imagine they try to leave the Sinister Six together and have the other two Spider-Men in the next trilogy? Dude, forget it.
Yeah.
I think it's too much, but like what we always keep saying, in Marvel we trust.
Yes,
I'm sure
sir.
they'll figure it out. So we'll have to see.
I think they will. I mean, there's a lot of little things that I've seen, especially that have to do with like Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
You know, like at the end when he's trying to, he says he can't hold him anymore, or when he tells Peter, what does he say that they all die? They all die. Everybody
They've
from
all,
that,
yeah, they've all died at the hands of Spider-Man,
yeah,
which I find odd because if I remember correctly, the Studman did not die, or
he
the
just blew
Lizard.
away. The Sandman just blew away, right?
Yeah, yeah, like there's at least one or two of them that they didn't technically die at the hands of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't know. We'll have to see. They're definitely doing something big, and it makes sense for two of them to come help because, bro, that either he gets help from the other two Spider-Men or he gets help from Doctor Strange and somebody else. Because there's no way that Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker is way too young and inexperienced to fight that many villains at once.
true. Venom, maybe.
Maybe
I mean,
it'll
it
be
looks like
interesting.
there's some good stuff like the crossovers with Venom, Morbius, and Spider-Man all together.
Mhm.
So hopefully they'll be able to, put all that, but who knows?
Yep. So weird little segue. We might cut this out. We might not. We'll have to see how long we rant. But for those of you that don't know, shame on you, first of all, for not following us on Instagram and stuff, where we've posted that we weren't going to be recording. Unfortunately, it took way longer than anticipated. We did 2 Sundays. Well, today's what, Monday? So
Today.
technically 3 Sundays without recording, but
Yeah.
hopefully, knock on wood, this one comes out on Wednesday at their usual time. But we'll let you guys guess. One of us got really sick. I wonder who it could be. The one that's having trouble breathing. That actually worked out perfect. Yeah, I don't want to get too into it, and I'll probably edit whatever we do rant about, but I want to get too political with it. But yeah, it was COVID. Um, for the record, fuck COVID. This shit sucks. Um, did I get the vaccine? No. Should I have gotten the vaccine? Yes. But like I said, I don't want to get political with this bullshit. You make your own choice, but I can tell you from personal experience, you do not want to go through this shit. This shit absolutely sucks. Um, but anyway, for that reason, 2 weeks, almost three without recording. Um, we'll use this as a marker right here.
I'm gonna go back really quick. So I'm glad you're back.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
glad that you and your family are doing well,
Thank you.
and you had us very worried. So with that, I just want to say that I'm glad you're back. I missed you, and I'm sure all of our fans, the millions and millions of fans out there, missed us too. So
Right.
yes, but I just want to say I'm glad everything's okay. You're still
Thank you,
fighting,
sir.
but you're not 100%, but you're getting there. So which is a
Yes.
great thing. So
Yes. Thank you.
I just want to say my piece and
Appreciate it.
know that I missed you, bud.
Same here, brother. Same here.
So
This one I think will go pretty quick. How much of Arcane have you seen?
I think I'm on episode 3.
Okay, so we're about the same. I'll do mine real quick. I'll try to keep it quick. I really love the visuals. Artistically looks gorgeous. I think maybe it's because I don't play the game. I've never played the game. I don't have enough of a vested interest in it. The story is actually pretty good. I just don't know. I don't know if I want to devote the time to continue to watch. Artistically, absolutely beautiful to watch. The story is engaging. It's deep. The pacing, I think, maybe is my problem. I think it might be a little slow, but other than that, I would still highly recommend it to anybody that's interested at all in any kind of animation, good story. I would definitely recommend it. I just don't know if I'm going to continue to watch it. Um, I'll try, but overall, even though I'm saying I might not continue to watch it, I'd probably give it a solid like 7.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that's a really good rating. I am in awe visually of the animation. It's amazing. It's I don't know what to compare it to. I would probably compare it to some type of, um bleh, video game, but it's
Mm-hmm.
better, because I love the aspect and how they, how they're the shadows and how deep they are, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The figures are very deep, the way they made them, and it's really good. It's almost kind of like the cinematography that they used for what was that movie, that show, that cartoon-esque Band of Brothers that was on Netflix? You remember the one that we saw?
No,
um
that's the one that somebody recommended because of the animation, but I
yeah.
hadn't even heard of it until the Liberators or something like that.
Yes, but you
I
didn't watch
never
it, right?
never
Okay.
even to this day I haven't even seen the trailer for it.
Okay, so it's good. It kind of has that, but it's still not as realistic. I don't know how to put it. I
Right. It
really
still looks more. It still looks animated rather than
realistic, yeah.
realistic. Okay.
So in that aspect, it's really good. The storyline is good. The characters are awesome. I like what they're trying to do. It's from the video game League of Champions, or is it a card game? Is it a card game or
Um,
is it a video game?
I think it's a role playing game.
Role or RPG? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. I've never played anything that has to do with the League of Champions or that stuff, so I liked it. My son liked it too, so it
Okay.
has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is amazing. And then IMDb ranks it at 9.3 out of 10, so that's pretty high up there. So I am going to continue to watch it. I'll probably finish it here soon. um League of Legends. I'm sorry, I keep saying League of Champions, League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
It's based off of. So I think it's cool. I like it, and I give it a, yeah. I would give it a solid. Would you say 7?
I said 7.
Yeah, I give it a 7. Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
And
It's
like I
worth it.
said, that's probably unfair, just because, like I said, the pacing. I think for me, just it's
Yeah,
a little too slow. It's like I'm already thinking. I'm the type, unfortunately, that I need to be hooked
yeah,
pretty well, and then you'll have me for 10 seasons.
yeah.
But if it's a slow burn, um, it has to have something that intrigues me in order for me to keep watching. And this one, I've seen I've seen good animation. I've had good story. Um, there's nothing unique enough about it for me to say, "Fuck yeah, I'm hooked." It's
Okay.
slow enough that I think that's my problem. But like I
Yeah.
said, it's not technically a bad thing because it's still very well written. The story's really good. It's just a bit of a slow burn for me.
Did you ever watch Demon Slayer?
Yes, and the reason I'm like, um, my daughter's best friend is actually a big fan. We took him to the park the other day, and they were talking about it. I've seen all of season 1. I
Mhm.
just haven't seen the movie because the movie is only subtitled.
Oh, okay.
But I did see
So
all season 1.
I like it. The only aspect that I do not like of the series is when they're like powering up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that I don't like, and it goes back to freaking like Final Fantasy and playing those video games.
Mm-hmm.
I do not. I've never been in. I could watch, watch somebody play it, but I never. Shout out to my friend Louis because I'd always watch him play Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
When we were young, but I never played it because I never liked it. So that's the only aspect that I didn't like about Demon Slayer,
Mm-hmm.
was that kind of like powering up. The 15th power to the 13th, 18th, I don't know, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
so I just didn't like that part. Everything else was great, stories, the characters, the
Right.
monsters, everything was cool,
Yeah.
so
That'll be one that I'll be interested to see if I'll, because that's another one. That one is kind of the opposite to where it was a slow burn, but it was interesting enough story wise. At the end of each episode, it hooked me enough to be like, damn it, now I have to watch the next one.
yeah.
Damn it, now I want to watch the next one. And that's how I got through the whole season. And Arcane doesn't really have that. Like the end of each episode is like, okay, you know what? I have time. Let's watch another one. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's good enough to want to watch it, but not intriguing enough to be like, fuck, now I got Dexter.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit. Dexter is doing a really good job of hooking me at the end of each episode. Like, fuck, what happens?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, I mean, can we segue into that real quick? Because we're already there.
Might as well. Yeah.
How many are you caught up?
I'm caught up.
I've only watched one. I'm just throwing it out there.
No. Actually, that'll make it interesting. So, give me your take on it so far, and I'll let you know since I'm caught up. Not like without spoilers, but I'll let you know if you should keep watching or not, depending on your take.
So basically, it's eight years later, right?
Actually, I believe it's 10.
10?
Mm-hmm. 10 spread around there.
10 in real life or 10 in the movie?
10 in the show.
I'm in the show, sorry. Okay, so but I think it's 8 years that the last season came out.
It'd be pretty okay.
Something
It's been 8 years since they did it, but in the show it's been 10.
10, yeah.
I think something like that. Okay.
So I, for one, didn't watch it in its entirety when it came out. I'm gonna pull another Sopranos thing. I watched it after the fact. So I did binge everything. Like within the span of maybe 6 months to a year. It was I don't remember how many seasons they were, but
I want to say it's 6 or 7. No, actually, I think it's 8 because I think this is technically season 9.
It is this is season 9, so it was 8 seasons. So so I binged all those 8 seasons, and it was good. You know, I think that it was really slow at the beginning. It was like a slow burn. I'm like, oh my god, this better get better. And then sure enough, the last 5-10 minutes, he was back. You know, didn't talk to himself at the beginning of the episode. Had nothing, you know, his dark passenger besides this, you know, spoilers, his sister. You know, but I had to go back and I was like, she died. That's where it kind of caught me off guard, you know, because it's been so long. So
yeah, that would definitely be one thing that I would tell people. Like, if you have not touched Dexter at all since it ended, go back and watch some kind of a recap on YouTube or whatever. I'm sure there's tons of them, because they just jump right into it. Yeah, they don't bother trying to previously on. No, they're just like boom, right where they left off. That's where they pick up. My biggest takeaway from the first episode, it really annoyed me. I was really, really annoyed because I got super deep into the psychology of Dexter, and the way that they ended the series to me was absolutely perfect. And with what they're doing now, it almost negates his entire journey and makes the last 2 seasons completely pointless. It complete, because to me, the way that the series originally ended, him going to this place and forcing himself to not kill was his way of punishing himself for what he realized that he did to people that he actually loved. He was not your stereotypical psychopath. He did love. He realized what he was doing was wrong. And this was his way of punishing. I'm going to stay away from my son, who I love very much. I ended up killing my sister. So I can't kill myself because serial killers don't do that. So he was punishing himself. It was his own personal hell for everything that he had done to the people that he truly loved. So this completely erases that. And so that's what bothers me.
And that's why.
And that's what bothers me. But that being said, if you can ignore that part, which a lot of people can, my brain just can't, I'm hooked. I'm hooked again.
Yeah.
They've done a pretty good job writing wise. The way that they bring him back into killing, I think was really dumb. That's another thing, because the level of douchebag that this guy is should not be enough to make Dexter negate everything. Like this character that they used to bring him back is so weak that it makes Dexter's will seem weak. Like, really? That's all it took to bring you back? Come on, bro. It should have been where they're headed right now.
Yeah.
I won't tell you, but where they're headed now in episode 4, that should have been enough to bring him back. Not what happened in the first episode.
So by next episode, I'll watch all 4.
Trust me, it's way better than it seemed like it was going to be at the very first episode.
Yeah,
and I'm hooked. I'm definitely
building.
Gonna. Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I thought the ending of Dexter is total bullshit.
The original series. A lot of people did.
And that's where I was. And then going into this, I kind of just shut off my brain and said, fuck it, I'm going to watch it because it's been so damn long. Dexter's back. I just want to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I kind of did, of course you overanalyze everything. I'm not going to knock you for it because that's the way you are. But me, just like always, I shut off my damn brain and I just watch. So that's where we're a good pair, dude.
That's right.
So, and all the first episode, because I haven't caught up yet, with everything that's going on and everything that there's to watch. I haven't just had a chance to sit down and watch it. Okay. Honestly, you kind of made a point about the douchebag, and it was kind of like, I've run into so many people, and then all of a sudden this douchebag is the one that's going to make me cross the line, so I was like, okay, it makes sense now that you say that. Because before I was just like, all right, well, he was a douchebag. I would probably do the same thing, kill him. Who cares? But for him, it to bother him or be such a little bother for him to start back up again is kind of crazy. Or maybe he just did it to find an excuse to kill.
I think so. That's kind of the way that I'm taking it. That he's been fighting the urge for so long, and it makes sense because if you want to get philosophical with it, the white buck was all the innocence that he had been protecting this whole time by not killing.
Yeah.
And this guy murdered it in front of him. So I get the metaphor. I think it's just, I get it and I appreciate it. I don't think it's enough.
Okay.
But we get Dexter back.
Yeah. So Dexter's back again.
Dexter's
back. Dexter's back. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
So let's try to get that one out of the way because I think that one's going to go pretty quick. Hopefully, Masters of the Universe.
Haven't seen the second season yet.
At all. None of it.
At all. I anticipated it. Have you finished it?
Yes. I can't remember. Did you like the first half?
Yeah, it was good. I know that we had kind of like talked about what was going on and the how it, because it jumped right from one point to another, and then how everything was kind of proceeded, and it all happened in like the first episode, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, so the second episode and towards the end was just a storyline of, I don't know, She-Ra. What's her name?
Tila.
Tila. She-Ra.
Right. She's still in the same universe, so
yeah,
makes sense.
So, what do you think about this next season? Since you watched it already,
I'm gonna try to non-spoiler it for you and anybody else that hasn't seen it yet. It is very much a continuation of season 1. Pretty much everything that we ranted about, liked, disliked about part 1, it's very much the same thing. My biggest complaint is that I'm not kidding you, dude, like the last 2 episodes are the most dragged out episodes of anything I've ever watched. Anything. I mean, honestly, this is the absolute worst case of dragging shit out for no reason whatsoever. They were repeating the same fucking dialogue, the same plot points in both episodes for 45 minutes.
So do you think that Netflix gave them like a 10 episode deal and they only had 8, and then they're like, we need 2 more episodes, just repeat everything that we said?
Honestly, dude, I think they were trying to get too deep into psychology and philosophy of what they were trying to say, that they ended. It's like when you get into a deep conversation like that you kind of just don't feel that you're getting your point across, so you keep saying the same things over and over, just in a slightly different way. That's what they were doing. It's like they thought the audience didn't grasp it, so they're trying to further explain it.
Okay.
Overall, just, I hate to say, but I'm disappointed with it. I think they could have done a lot more. It was cool. I think the biggest thing is seeing a lot of my favorite characters on the screen again.
Yeah.
He-Man was not at all who he used to be. Skeletor was probably the closest.
Yeah.
But everybody else was just too different from the original characters.
Makes sense. Cool.
Anybody that's a fan, I'd say watch it. It might be your cup of tea. I think we've learned that I'm so much of a contrarian that I don't like it, and a lot of people are, what are you talking about? It's fucking amazing. There you go. Based on what you've seen so far, if you agree with most of the stuff that I've said, then you probably won't like it. If you see this shit and you're just like, that guy's a fucking idiot, go watch it. You'll probably like it. I won't knock you for it. I hate to say, but probably like a 6.
Okay.
I won't rewatch it, and I'm just glad that we got another attempt, because like the one, I think the series before this one, that one was really bad.
Yeah.
That one had no point to it whatsoever.
No.
At least this one had like a story that they were trying to tell.
Yeah. So based on not watching it, I'm gonna rate it at. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna watch it because
I would still watch it. Yeah. Like in your case, I would still watch it.
Don't tell me what to do.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not telling you, I'm suggesting.
Okay. Big difference.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. Arcane, Dexter. Oof. All right. So
yeah, that's fine. 007.
So yeah, I was gonna say, which one do you want to do first? Dude, I honestly could do No Time to Die in like 3 minutes flat.
Okay, let's do it. Ready, set, go.
I hated it. I hated it. I made it a point to go back and watch like a recap of his movies so far, so that I could have a better understanding and a better grip. I couldn't shut off my brain. I could shut off my brain enough to say it's 007. That's the one thing that I've always loved, is that it is over the top. It is a little bit ridiculous. And I remember, quick side note, I used to do security for escorts. And one night that we were just hanging out waiting for calls or whatever, we were watching a James Bond marathon, and another guy that was there, he was like, oh my God, I can't believe this shit, this is so stupid. I'm like, bro, it's James Bond. And then something else would happen. He's like jumping from one plane to another, whatever he does, and he just and I'm like, bro, it's James Bond. That's what we did for like 2-3 hours. And by the end of like the second movie, he was saying the same thing. He was like, that's Bond. He's just doing his Bond thing. And I'm like, that's right. It's James Bond.
You get used to it.
They don't have that feeling anymore. Not to me. I think the Daniel Craig one, they tried to make him too much of a true badass spy, that they got away a little bit from the have fun with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved most about the Roger Moore, I'm going to forget names. Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton. Like that's to me one of the biggest things that they had is that they were having fun with it, and all the ones with the Daniel Craig, they take themselves too serious. Granted, I think the Daniel Craig series has the absolute best villains, but nah, dude. I saw it and I'm like, 4 fucking movies and he's still haunted by that one chick. The villain was good, but for them to be technically telling one big story and it took 5 movies to do it,
Yeah, it's too much.
nah, it's too much. What I would probably say is if some fan does like a super cut, like a 3-hour condensed all 5 movies into 3 hours, that I think would be fucking amazing. I would watch the shit out of that. But like the 5 movies, I'd probably pick which one's the one with Javier Bardem? Quantum of Solace?
I think so, yeah.
Whichever one it is that with Javier Bardem as a bad guy, I'll watch that one over and over and forget the other ones.
Okay. That sounds good. So do you think that it's a good way to end Daniel Craig?
That I will say, as far as that aspect, yeah, it was a good send off. Like I said, I don't think it should have taken 5 movies to accomplish that. Yeah. But looking at it from that aspect, the fans of this series, I could see them being content with that was a good goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. Rating?
Excuse me. See, I don't want to give it a 7 because it's not rewatchable, but a 6.5 just seems low. I'm gonna stick with a 6.5 because I won't rewatch it. Like I said, I'd rather go back and watch that one, or have a super cut. I'll watch that.
Did you find it a little slow?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was more tying up loose ends from, like I said, the overall big story that they were trying to tell with the whole Spectre thing. That dude, they underutilized I forget his name, the guy that's supposed to be the villain. Like I thought he was going to be a much bigger part of the story. That's what I was looking forward to. I love that guy. I can't think of his name, but it didn't deliver in any of the James Bond stuff that I'm used to. I've been watching, like I said, since Sean Connery, Roger Moore. So I have a long fucking history of fucking James Bond. I haven't even seen them all.
Are you talking about Rami Malek?
Yes.
His character? Okay. Which is Lucifer Safin? Something like that?
See, dude, even the name, fucking badass. They're doing the whole Lucifer Satan thing.
Yeah.
And for them to just, he was so underutilized.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll never see him again.
Presumably not. Bye,
okay,
Danny.
so only because it took me 3 times to watch it.
Okay.
Is that bad?
Because it was that slow?
I found it kind of slow. I know that there was a lot of action sequences that were kind of like, okay, good. And then all of a sudden it would just kind of like dull out. And I was kind of like, and then there would be something kind of exciting. And then I would kind of like, you know what I mean? So every time there was a lull, I don't know if it was because it was late or because, I was tired or whatever, I just would pass out.
Yeah.
At one point I was watching it with my earbuds in. And I mean, literally in my earbuds and still pass out. So I think that because it was kind of slow, I think that's what kind of like gave it a ranking. I'm going to tell you my ranking right off the back. It's a 6, only because of that. I would have given it a better one if it was just a little bit more actiony, but I just have to see. I have to give it a 6. Thank you, Daniel Craig, for everything that you've done.
Yeah.
Everything else was great. You know what I mean? But it's a good send off. I think so.
Yeah, that I will say it was a good send off. It just left too much to be wanted, at least in my opinion.
Well, let me ask you this:
segue into the final segment, Hawkeye.
Oh yeah.
So I'll let you go first.
Okay. I like it
Okay.
a lot. I'm glad that they're doing the Hawkeye storyline because he's kind of like a superhero, you know, up until when was it? Infinity War,
Mm-hmm.
when they, you know, showed his family and all that stuff, right? We was it
Civil War.
Infinity? Civil War. I'm sorry. So up until Civil War, we really didn't know that, you know, what he was about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what type of super he him himself said, look at me, I'm just a guy with a bow and arrow, you know,
Mm-hmm.
fighting, all these super villains.
None of this makes sense.
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? For them to like kind of bring his role and figure out, kind of give him a little more depth. Because
Mm-hmm.
we did see that he had a family, he was a father, and then in Endgame, you know what I mean, he was trying to get his family back, stuff like that. So that was good. This is just going to give us just a little bit more of an insight on him, his role, what happened to him, why he can't hear. Well, not really why he can't hear, but why is he going deaf, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because of everything that was happening. And of course, he's not a superhuman.
Right.
He's not he's just a regular person that knows how to fight and shoot a bow and arrow,
Mm-hmm.
very accurately.
Right.
So, in all, I like it. I like where it's leading. I saw that the next two episodes weren't going to be as long as the first two episodes, so it's kind of a little bit of bummer. I don't know if you heard that. I
didn't.
I just saw something come out today on that. I didn't forward it to you because I don't know. I forgot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. So, in all, it was a Christmassy. You know how we were saying about Christmas and everything,
Mm-hmm.
that theme. But I mean, 'tis the season. It's after Thanksgiving, so it's
And
pretty
that,
much just Christmas already.
in that sense, I'm really glad that I'm glad they went the direction that they did, because I was afraid that it was going to be too Christmassy,
Mhm.
but it's not. It makes sense. It's during the season, and they're talking about enough Christmas that makes sense without it being a Christmas show,
Yeah.
which was I would that's what I was afraid that they were going to do. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the Kate Bishop character, um, I like what they did with the story. I like what they did with the whole she was in a really fucked up situation, and that's what she saw, and it encouraged her to train to lead, or not lead that life, but train to be like him. Like, he became her hero. um I like that part, not her character as much. um a little bit too much of the not doing what you're told, and that's going to cause problems, and that puts me in a bad spot, and now I have to fix it type roles. But
Yeah.
it works. I don't like the thing that they're doing where it seems like it's going to cause a rift between him and the kids. That's bumming me out a little bit because he cares so much about them. um but overall, yeah, it's really, really good. I'm looking forward to seeing where they end up with this. I think they're going to have a much bigger reveal as far as the villain, other than this chick that they introduced. I don't remember her name. Um, so that's going to be interesting. And I don't know if I even want to look it up. I can't remember if this is a limited series or a series.
Mm,
Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not know.
Okay,
I,
we'll
I'm,
leave it at that, because I think that's gonna, unless something happens, um, I think that'll ruin it for me. I'd rather be
Uh-oh.
surprised. Or you already looked it up. Damn it.
I'm looking it up, but I can't find it. So we're good.
Don't find it.
Um,
I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely going to continue to watch. It kind of sucks that it's going to be released weekly. I would have liked to binge, but oh well. I think that's mostly because that's all I've been doing. I can't even begin to tell you how many episodes of fucking Forensic Files I've seen at this point.
you start watching Ancient Aliens. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I like it. I understand what you're saying. Where Kate Bishop is kind of like throwing a wrench in everything, and kind of like being a little hard-headed, snobby, rich girl that knows everything. You know what I mean? That kind of like just screws everything up. It's kind of like just stay in line,
Yeah.
Know that you come second, not first. And then
But I think they nullified that pretty quickly with the mom saying, you teenagers and rich people tend to think that they know everything, and you've been both your whole life. Or not whole life, but she's been both for a long time. So it makes sense. I like that they're tying in the Ronin part. I like that. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
So
I'm enjoying it.
You know that the mom's boyfriend is tied into Clint Barnes' character, right?
I figured, but I didn't know for sure.
So in the comics, his character is named, I don't know, something or other, something, and I can't even find his name, dude. I'm looking for it. I can't even find it, dude.
But anyway, and then
he's like his mentor, in other words.
Hawkeyes?
In the comics, yeah. I'm trying
really?
to. Oh, here he is. His name is Tony Dalton, Jack DeQuincy. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know, dude. I'm a little lost here. I did see an excerpt, however, on how he is Clint Barton's like mentor, and that kind of taught him, the ways of the Force. No, not really.
The ways of the Force.
He was his mentor, and that's who taught him how to fight. His skill set. I mean, because if you notice, she went to like stab him in the face, and he like blocked it like nothing, and she kept telling him, stop, or stop not fighting, or some shit like that. But they were fighting each other, they were sparring each other, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, not wanting to actually give it his all, and she was getting pissed off because he wasn't, and she noticed. So that character has a lot to hide, so yeah.
And it would make sense why he's so determined to have the Ronin's gear.
Yeah, that's true. But nobody knew who the Ronin was. Right?
That's going to be interesting. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm hooked. I don't know if we have enough information yet based on the limited info that we have. Where would you put it?
You know what? Honestly, I really liked it. I liked the with the exception of Kate Bishop, I liked the kind of like the characters, the feel of it, especially because I mean, come on, we're in December. It came out last week. You know what I mean? So it kind of has the same feel of like now, which makes it a little bit better. Where it's like, you're not gonna go watch Die Hard during the summer because it's a Christmas movie, obviously. Okay, you're not gonna go watch Home Alone during the summer because it's a Christmas movie, obviously.
Dude, okay, keep going because my brain is malfunctioning. Okay,
so what I'm saying. So it kind of gives you that feel. It's like if you're watching it's raining outside and you're watching a movie and it's raining, and it kind of like just ties it all together. It kind of just all the senses are matching up. So with that aspect, I think it's doing really good with these 2 episodes. So I am going to continue to watch it, of course, because it's Marvel. And it's going to lead us into, wait, Spiderman comes out on the 17th, right? Excuse me. Sorry, I got something in my eye. So that's going to cut in like halfway through this, which is
Mhm.
really odd because that never happens.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. There's the end of this year is crazy.
Yeah.
We got, well, in your case, in my case, we got Eternals that we still need to watch. We have Spider-Man that we still need to watch. We need to finish Hawkeye. We need to jump over to Star Wars and watch Boba Fett,
Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, is Obi-Wan this year or next year?
I think it's next year.
I think
Yeah, I
it's
think it's
next year.
2022. Yeah.
Damn it! Why did you have to mention Die Hard?
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that. We'll try to, because I have a feeling that we're not going to have a whole lot for next week.
Yeah.
Let's do that for next week. That next week will be our Christmassy special. The main plot point for next week is going to be what constitutes a Christmas movie. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
Dun, 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 dun.
So,
well, Book of Boba Fett, December 29th. That's when the release
December
date is.
29th. Yes, sir. What else? This will a slight heartfelt apology. This will probably be one of the longer episodes we've had in a while because of the fact that we haven't really recorded for 2 weeks. So we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But thank you, sir, for taking the time. Thank you guys for listening. It's good to be back. I miss this a lot.
I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're feeling better, and hopefully within the next 2 episodes you'll be at 100%. So,
Hopefully.
I did miss it too. So
Brother, you
made some TikToks or Instagrams or something, but
yeah, dude, trust me.
No,
dude, I get it because I think I'm more used to it because I've been doing it longer, technically.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get the willpower to do it. Just the thought of talking long enough to record it just was tiring just thinking about it. So
you're good, don't worry. I know our listeners are going to be listening and watching us, and glad that we're back. So
yes, so thank you again, sir. I appreciate your time, and we will see you guys next week. Peace. Oh. Great. Fucking